I'm Bottles.
I'm Pete.
Welcome back to Companion Shell. Oh my god. I really didn't want this to be the whole session. I really didn't. But, Steve, you did it. Our first session-wide level.
Now, I don't have another rap. But I have a sort of that I just know by heart.
Okay.
I don't know the chorus. I just know the verses. So I'll just hit with that. Hold, did that one watch the hoodwink? As it make you stop think? You think you're looking at Aquaman. A salmon fish to the dish, although I like this other fish, I like the sushi, cause it's never such a frying pan. Hot like wasabi when I bust rhymes. Feel like the end rhymes, cause I'm all about value. Bird campus got the mad hits. Try to match wits. Try to hold me, but I bust through. Get a bigger, take a bigger, like the sticky naked shake. I like vanilla, it's the finest of the flavors. Gotta see it show, cause then you'll know the vertigo is gonna grow, cause it's a dangerous off the sound of waiver. Or can I help it if I think you're funny when you're mad? Try not to smile, though I feel bad. I'm the kind of guy who laughs at a funeral. Can't understand what I mean, but you soon will. Have a tendency to win my mind on my sleeve. Have a history of losing my shirt. It's been always look at me. You did it again. You did it again.
Okay.
You did it twice.
Well, it's because it's so easy to just grab the shell again. Fuck, man.
That's not Steve's fault.
I know, it's
That's
Brian's
fine.
fault.
It's Mario's fault, because it's just the way that the cookie crumbles when it comes to catching shit in the game. But
You were saying? With your
chicken in
fucking...
China, Chinese chicken, you have a drumstick, your brain stops ticking, watching the X-Files with no lights on, with Don LeMay's on, hope the smoking man's in this one, like Harrison before I'm getting tantric, I'm getting frantic, Zig and tantric, Zig is guaranteed to satisfy, for Kurosawa I make mad films, K I don't make films, but if I did they'd have a samurai, gotta get us at a better club, gotta find the kind with tiny nibs, show my iron is always flying off the backswing, gotta get into with Sailor Moon cause that cartoonist got the boom, man and me babes, make me do the wrong thing, gonna help it if I think you're funny when you're mad, try now not to smile though I feel bad, I'm the quote unquote laugh at a funeral, can't understand what I mean, you soon will, have a tendency with my mind I'm asleep, have a history of where the fuck's my shirt, it's bam. I spent a solid night learning that song. I couldn't even learn the choruses.
What even... That song sounds so familiar.
It's 1 Week by Bare Naked Ladies.
Ah.
I think the chorus is... It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Character to the side, said I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me, saying get it together, come back and see me. In 3 days since the living room. Realized it's all my fault, but couldn't tell you. Yesterday, you've forgiven me, but it'll still be 2 days till I say I'm sorry. That was perfect.
Who are you sending that to?
Richard, he was like, Overwatch? And I'm like, I'm still here.
Okay. Let's tell an improv story.
Okay.
One sentence at a time.
Billy went to school and everyone hated Billy, but no one really, like, Billy didn't really care that everyone hated him. He was just like, I guess maybe he was because he was a little smelly and he just didn't get along with people that well. But, like, as soon as, like, he started to realize just how much everyone hated him, he really started to try to kick into gears. He started taking showers every day. He started brushing his teeth, like, every other meal. He really started working it up and talking to people.
Wow, this is a really long sentence.
But at the end of the day, you know, he really started kicking in. And then one day he came home from school and his parents were dead, and he didn't know what the hell happened. He was trying so hard to be likable, and it didn't matter because he knew who it was. He knew who murdered his parents. It was Jim from school. Jim from his science class. He knew Jim hated him the most for no reason. And he said it was weird because like the last Tuesday he was like, oh, I'm gonna kill your parents, and was like, what? No, Jim, you're so weird. And then he did it, and he was like, man, I should have seen this coming. Should have known. But Jim did it. He killed Billy's parents, and Billy was, as you would be, very upset with this. And so he went to school the next day and he's like, Jim, why'd you kill my parents? And he goes, because I fucking hate you. And Billy goes, wow, that's not a reason to kill someone's parents. And Jim goes, well, I'm sorry, but I did. Get fucked, nerd. And Billy was like, what even? Why? Like, this is terrible. I am so upset about this right now. Well, Billy, that's just the way life goes, isn't it? And then Jim hung himself. The end.
So I said like we were gonna make a story one
I'm
sentence
sorry,
at a time,
I just
and you just went.
My body just.
All right. One day, Sarah went to the bar, and she ordered herself a Jack and Coke. And the guy that was sitting next to her was like, oh my god, Jack and Coke, my fucking favorite. So then he kidnapped her and took her to the basement. And he's like, cool basement, right? And she's like, yeah, I guess, can I go home? And he's like, nah, yeah, you live here now. And she's like, oh, I guess that's just my life now. The end.
Man, someday we're gonna get fired from a Disney movie and then rehired.
Yeah. What? I didn't say anything bad.
Alright, let's actually do the sentence by sentence.
Okay, you start.
One day, Kyle woke up.
And then he got out of bed, and he saw something very peculiar.
He looked outside and saw a giant, naked woman standing in his backyard.
Now, when we say giant, we don't mean that she's tall. I mean that she's fat.
And she took up the entire backyard. Like, damn.
So Billy, or what was his name?
It was Kyle.
So Kyle was really happy about this. And decided to open his window and jump out and land right on the giant naked woman's stomach like it was a big swimming pool.
And instead of swimming, he just bounced into the stratosphere.
So Kyle's in space now. And off in the distance, he saw a planet.
That planet was Earth again. He made a full circle around the universe.
He looked at Earth and he went, nah. And then he started swimming towards Mars.
Yes, and Mars' gravitational pull cycled him right back around towards her.
Landing back on Earth. Kyle lands right in the middle of an improv class.
Where the naked woman is once again on the floor and he bounces right back into the stratosphere.
So Kyle's in space again. God damn it.
I know, Kyle just keeps going into space. What are the odds that the woman was able to move to the improv class?
So Kyle looks down at the Earth and he can see the giant woman from space.
Right. Oh, I didn't realize I was into the sentence.
Yes.
And so he turned around and decided to go towards Mars.
So he swims towards Mars and lands.
And upon his landing, he found the rover, the Mars rover, that has been up there alone this whole time.
It was love at first sight.
And the two of them went on some nice dates. First to a hill in the east, and then a mountain to the west. And then they watched the sunset until the storm hit and it was blocked out. So they went to a cave that was home because it's Mars and not Earth. They have no home. Go ahead.
I fucking hate my life.
Okay, so...
Thank you, Richard. I appreciate it. Back to the story. So, Kyle...
Oh, the rover's name is Kelly.
Okay, okay. So, Kyle and Kelly... fucked in the cave.
Which was impressive, being that one of them was a rover.
I'm sure it has a hole somewhere.
You're not wrong. It's somewhere.
But then, the Kelly, the rover, caught Kyle looking at Earth porn on his phone that he still had reception
That's
on
amazing.
somehow.
That is incredible.
Verizon is really good.
And so Kyle tried to explain, nah, listen, it's not like that. It's not just Earth porn. It's Earth rule, what we call Rule 34 of Rover. Have you, honey? Kyle said.
Kelly accepted this and watched rover porn with him, but noticed something very peculiar about it. The rover was having sex with another woman.
Kyle goes, you never put out. What do you want me to do?
Kelly wonders why he watches lesbian rover porn when he knows that lesbian rovers will never be attracted to him.
And this is just becoming like a weird couples therapy thing. Kyle thing! And Kyle wonders, man, I wonder what that giant woman down on Earth is doing.
So he swims off of Mars.
Just lets off.
Kelly, wondering what the fuck is going on, swims off of Mars with him. Period.
And they go to get to Earth, but the gravitational pull of Earth swings them
To Jupiter.
That's my sentence, hold on. Swings them back around to Uranus. They both laughed at this.
And then the gravitational pull of Uranus slung them back to Earth.
Where they landed both auspiciously on the giant lady and bounced back into the
I
stratosphere.
swear to God. Kyle was like, oh my god, we've gone too far. As they left the Milky Way galaxy.
Far away from the giant woman.
And Mars. And Earth. And everything else.
And it was quickly appearing to them that they were leaving this universe.
Kyle realized that there's no air in space. So he started to choke.
Callie decided to use her emergency oxygen tanks that for some reason the rover had.
This rover needs to breathe.
And she shoved it down his throat. And when it popped in his mouth, it created enough air for him to survive in space forever.
Forever.
thus ignoring the issue of oxygen in space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. But now Kelly was out of oxygen. So Kyle went to where her oxygen reserves were and started to blow, filling up her oxygen reserves so that she can survive in space forever.
And then they realized, after figuring out this oxygen situation, that they were entering another universe, and they had no idea what they were getting themselves into, but they started to realize what they were heading towards was a mirror of the Milky Way galaxy.
And they started to fling towards the Earth, landed on the fat woman and bounced back up.
No, this is a different universe. There are different rules. Change.
Alright, change. Alright, they landed on the skinny woman and bounced them back up. The rules are different now. And they started flinging towards another universe.
But before they left this universe, they got caught and saved by Iron Man. And they realized they entered the MCU.
But Spider-Man was nowhere to be found.
But at least in this one, the Amazon wasn't burning.
I'm on a cloud. Help.
Go.
I'm trying.
You're just still on the platform. You have the cloud, and you're just sitting on the platform.
Well, because I don't want to die.
Oh my god. Any Hoosers.
Back to the story of Kyle, Kelly, and the Forever Bouncing. Now they're in the MCU. So,
Yes. Iron Man saved them.
okay, so Iron Man looked at them and was like, you guys are weird, and then dropped them. Right onto the Hulk.
And the Hulk goes,
One at a time.
big boy. and he yeets them across the country of the United States, because that's where they landed on the Hulk in. They didn't mention that, but Hulk's on Earth.
Yes.
And he yeeted them across the country to San Francisco. Period.
Oh, where they met, Drake and Josh.
San Diego, but
They're on vacation. I hate life. Hold on.
and Josh goes, Drake,
Yeah, Josh?
where's their oxygen?
It's right over there.
Oh, really?
I got it.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I drew it over there.
You're so unoriginal.
I see the problem. So after Kyle was done watching TV.
Yo, what the hell? What a twist! I thought it was real.
Kyle got up and decided that he should probably go to work.
In this new universe, in the MCU.
Yeah.
So Kyle's day-to-day job was, he worked as a trampoline expert, which was ironic.
I mean, he's an expert on bouncing.
Yeah.
This sucks. This sucks. Stop throwing things at me, you son of a bitch. Alright. If you like the video, like it, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Hit that bell notification if you want to see us beat Companion Shell. Question of the day. How would you end this story? Or continue this story?
Tell us in the comments down below.
Send us your levels. We'll get to them eventually. I'm Bottles.
I'm B.
Bye.